Hello there, everybody. This is Steve K here with you all with another video. So, I decided to do another video here on my channel, and now I usually been doing gameplays on here. I've been doing like basketball games, a little bit of NBA Jam. So, for those videos that you saw on there, these videos were filmed a little bit before this tragic day happened to one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history. So, for those of you that do not know, on Sunday, I forgot the date now. Sorry, apologies about that. On Sunday, January 26th, I think it was. On January 26th, 2020, there was a horrific helicopter crash that happened in the city of Calabasas, California. Now, I was not home because I was away with I was at my girlfriend's house, so it's going to be a little bit hard for me to do this video without crying. So I was at her house, and me and her were in her bedroom watching television, and all of a sudden I got on my phone and I saw one of my friends on Facebook wound up saying on Facebook, "Wow, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant." And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Because now a lot of people know that there's a lot of hoax or fake news that go on Facebook a lot of times. Like people will post a lot of stuff, on Facebook and say like crazy things about celebrities, athletes, anybody, and just post it on there. Like they do it with Eddie Murphy. They've done it with him on there, and many other people that they've said, have passed from an accident or something or anything like that. They even done it to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So once again, right away, when I saw this on there, I completely just was absolutely out of my mind, and I'm checking Facebook and CBS, NBC, ABC, any channel that's on there that's like got any coverage or anything. So did not really get like the news until like 5 minutes later when I put on ESPN or one of the channels, and there was some people on there that were talking. It was a PBA bowling thing or something supposed to be going on or something, and it was Rob Stone, I believe, and a couple other people, and they were announcing that it had been confirmed that Los Angeles Lakers legend from 1996 or 1997 to 2016, basketball legend Kobe Bryant and one of his daughters, Gianna, and seven other people were killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Now, this happened about 10 a.m. Pacific time or 10:30 Pacific time, around close to 11 a.m. Pacific time, and about 2 o'clock Eastern here on the East Coast. Now, again, I was not here because I was at my girlfriend's house, and I was not able to do a video about it. I was going to try and do one on my phone, but the problem is every time I do a video on my phone, it always cuts me off. Like, every time I try to film something, it stops like in the middle of it, and I don't know why. I don't really have an iPhone anymore. I have a Samsung Galaxy now, which is an okay phone. I mean, it's not the same as an iPhone, but anyway, so while me and her were at her house, and when I got the news that it was true about him, and I absolutely just lost it, and she had to comfort me, and I just was in so much disbelief. I was watching the Pro Bowl as well because the 2020 NFL Pro Bowl was on, even though it doesn't really count or anything. It's an all-star game, just something that they do. People just have fun. They play the game and score touchdowns and all that stuff, but it's still fun to watch, watching all them players. And of course, Facebook was literally blowing up everywhere. Like everybody was posting stuff on there. Well, TMZ was the one that reported it first. Like TMZ wound up saying on there that it had been confirmed. Now there's rumors that they are mad at TMZ for what they've done. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of TMZ that much, but I'm a little bit disappointed about them doing that too, because apparently there was word that they should not have done that in the first place because, for one, they didn't have the right to and they didn't inform the families or anything yet. But of course, when it's one of the biggest basketball legends in the game of basketball, yeah, of course they're going to do that kind of stuff, and CBS and all them other places are going to do that too. But still, it is disrespectful of them to do that. So now you probably, all of you don't really probably know this, but I have been a big, huge fan of Kobe Bryant. Now, I know I don't really play a lot of basketball games on my channel. I do have some like NBA. Well, I have Jam It on there, a Sega Genesis basketball game, and a few others. I did play NBA 2K, like a lot of the NBA 2K games. So going all the way back to the early 2000s, I played several basketball games back in the day with my cousin. Me and him used to play basketball a lot of times back in the day. Like, I would always go to his house in Aberdeen, Maryland, and we'd always would shoot hoops together, basically. So my uncle and him kind of got me into basketball. My grandfather did too, because I used to go to basketball courts and play basketball a lot of time too. Used to shoot hoops like with my grandfather, sometimes my grandma, and sometimes my mom and aunt, and occasionally my uncle, but not really all the time. But so now when I started, sorry, I mean, I know this is going to be really hard for me, but I started getting into basketball, like watching basketball games, like around, I guess, the mid 2000s or so, because I started watching Kobe Bryant play a lot of times for the Los Angeles Lakers. Even though that Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, well, they didn't really play a lot of times in our area because we're in Maryland and the Lakers are in California. They would air like on whatever station there. The Lakers would air on television, like on TNT, or I don't know about TBS, but they would air on television, like if it was going to be broadcast there, or ESPN, but mostly it would air on their area, like where they are. So every time they were on television, I always would watch them. Every time I would watch either Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom. Then, of course, I remember a lot of times when the Lakers had players on their roster. Now, of course, back in the day in the late 2000s, the late 90s, I did see the Lakers a little bit. I would play an NBA arcade game called NBA Showtime on NBC. And the team I would mostly choose would be the Los Angeles Lakers. And it would consist of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Now, mostly I'd use Shaquille O'Neal like to dunk the ball a lot of times, or sometimes I give it to Kobe and shoot like a 3-point. But I used to play a lot of NBA games at the arcade, like in NBA Showtime on NBC, but never did play NBA Jam. I did a little bit, but I usually like the Sega Genesis games and Super Nintendo. Now, Kobe Bryant is not in NBA Jam, only the later ones, like for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, because of the fact that Kobe Bryant was not playing yet. This game came out around 1993 and 1994, something like that. The mid-90s. He didn't start playing until 1996 or 1997, one of them years. He was originally drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, in case anybody didn't know that. But it is true. He was drafted by them, and he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, imagine what it probably would have been if he had played for the Charlotte Hornets. In my opinion, it probably would have been pretty good, but the Hornets probably would have traded him like later, because I think maybe the Hornets were in a rebuilding year at that time, and I don't know like when the last time was that they returned to the playoffs. So I don't know. But Kobe Bryant made an appearance on a Nickelodeon show that I watched back in the day, and I still do if it airs like on reruns, and it was called All That. All That was a show that starred Amanda Bynes like in season 3, I believe, and then came a few other cast members, but Kenan Thompson, who's currently on Saturday Night Live, is on there. Kel Mitchell. They're still together to this day. Like, they also had a show called Kenan and Kel, but and a few other cast members as well. But he appeared on an episode of All That in season 4, I believe it was, in a segment or a sketch that was called Whatever with Gina and Jessica, Amanda Bynes, and Christy Knowings. So basically, he wound up making a guest appearance on there. Now, people can probably say that the sketch or whatever was like a little bit like weird and stuff, but what it was is he made an appearance on the show. The episode was taped like around May or June of 1998, and Kobe Bryant was still a teenager. He was only 19 when that episode was filmed. When it was aired, I believe it was around September or so, and when it aired, I believe Kobe was 20, something like that. So basically, the girls on there are asking him questions. Like one of them, like Amanda says to him, "Are you like married?" And he says, "Well, no, I'm still a teenager." But there is no rule, basically, what age you get married. I mean, you can get married at 16 or 17, but you just have to have money and stuff. And I think you have to base them up. You know what I mean? Then Christy Knowing says to him, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And he says no. And both of them scream like excitement because at that time, a lot of people really liked him because a lot of girls, thought he was cute and stuff. And I know they thought he still was, later on, but you know what I mean? Just so then he winds up getting punched all over his shirt, and he winds up taking his jacket off, and he has a sleeveless shirt on, and then he winds up getting locked in a cage, and the girls just like are just going crazy over him because they have him locked up in the cage with them. I mean, again, I know it's weird to people like that, but I saw it recently on television, which I believe was on Monday or so, or I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I saw it on there, and I'm like, oh, I know why they're airing this episode. Yep. It's on YouTube, too. Just type in Kobe Bryant on Nickelodeon, all that, and they'll have the sketch. The sketch is called Whatever. So, now, anyway, as I was saying, as you probably don't know, I am a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. We do have a basketball team here in Maryland, which is the Washington Wizards. They used to be known as the Baltimore Bullets, the Washington Bullets, and then the Washington Wizards. They had Michael Jordan on the team for a couple of years, even though people weren't too big on that, but one of the greatest basketball players to play for the team. Kobe Bryant never played for the Wizards because of the fact that Kobe Bryant spent his entire career with the Lakers. Now, every time I would always play NBA 2K games, like NBA 2K5 or 2K6, I think when it started, I would always choose the Los Angeles Lakers. Sometimes the Miami Heat if Shaquille O'Neal was on the team with them, but mostly it'd be the Lakers. So I'd play a season mode or anything, like I choose the Lakers and try and win as many games in the season as I can and try and go to the NBA Finals and all that stuff. Then I started doing online games, like I would do online games with people and try and like beat them and all that. Mostly I choose the Lakers. Some of them would choose the Cavaliers, like LeBron James, the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal and a bunch of others, the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki, and a few others on the squad and all that. But now they have this feature, where you can make your own teams, like MLB The Show, like with Diamond Dynasty, how you make your own squad. So mostly, like I said, I would do that. Like I always would choose the Lakers because Kobe Bryant was always my favorite to choose because I loved the way that he would shoot, like the way he would take the ball and just put it into the hoop, or the way like he dribble or try and like get out of people's way or go through them and stuff or anything like that. Just basically any way he would play the game. Some people were not big on Kobe Bryant, but that's their problem because, I mean, that just shows, people did not have respect for him. Now, people have been showing a lot of disrespect about him. Some people have been posting some really stupid stuff about him, which they shouldn't be doing because, again, that's out of respect. But that's their problem. I mean, this guy was one of the greatest basketball players. I mean, the guy won 5 NBA rings. I mean, he won 3 with Shaquille O'Neal in, I believe it was 2000, 2001, and 2002, something like that. I think it was because they won 3 straight. They beat the Pacers, the 76ers, and the Nets, I believe. And all them teams, they beat by a good amount. It wasn't like even close. Like one game, I think the series was 4-1 or something like that. I think one of them they shut out, and another one was 4-1, I think. But they were the most dominant team. They had Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Derek Fisher, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. Some people thought that Rick Fox was involved in the helicopter crash with them, but he was not because Rick Fox was not on there. There was rumors that people were saying that he was involved, but he was not. It just was a rumor that everybody thought he was. Yeah, but a lot of people that were on that squad, most of them are retired. Then after they won their 3 straight, they didn't go to the finals the next year, but in 2004, I believe they did, but they lost to the Detroit Pistons. And this is the first time they went back to the NBA Finals, and it consisted of Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, and I believe Rick Fox is still there, and Brian Grant, and a few other people that were there, even though they had a great season, but they didn't win the NBA Finals. Instead, it went to the Detroit Pistons. Then Shaquille O'Neal left the team and went to the Miami Heat in a trade that sent Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat and Caron Butler, I believe, to the Lakers for a few others, while the Lakers had an up-and-coming player that was supposed to be pretty good by the name of Andrew Bynum. But Andrew Bynum, unfortunately, could not stay healthy. He had too many injuries, and it kept him out of basketball. Like, I think he played like 5 or 6 seasons or so, and 3 seasons, he had too many injuries. Like he tried to play a full season, but he just could not stay healthy once again. I think he came up like around 2008 or so and retired around 2015. I don't really know, but I mean, he did play a pretty good while, I think, but the injuries just could not stay away. And Shaquille O'Neal never did return to the Lakers. He did spend his career with a few other teams, including the Boston Celtics and the Phoenix Suns, and I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers, but that was near the end of his career, and now he's a Hall of Famer. He also did spend his career with the Orlando Magic when he began his career. But while Shaquille O'Neal was gone, they still did continue to play against each other. Like in one game, I remember the Miami Heat was facing the Los Angeles Lakers at Los Angeles. I think this was in 2007 maybe or so, and Kobe Bryant still was number 8, I believe, because his uniform number was number 8 before he wound up changing it to 24. 24 was like his number in his school years or something like that, but number 8 was a different number, something he decided to wear. I forgot why, but so the Lakers were playing the Heat in a game, which is against, well, it was in Los Angeles, I meant to say, and Shaquille O'Neal wound up doing a dunk or something on Andrew Bynum, and then Andrew Bynum wound up doing a fake or something, and he faked out Shaquille O'Neal and did a dunk. And then Shaquille O'Neal got mad because of what he did, and then there was some pushing and shoving going on, and Kobe Bryant went over to Shaq or Shaquille O'Neal and tried to like block or tell him, to calm down or just, just tell him, let it go. So basically that kind of thing. So Kobe Bryant then later in his career would wind up scoring 81 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors, which is the second highest scoring in an NBA game. The highest is 100 points by Wilt Chamberlain back in the 1960s, I believe, for the Philadelphia Warriors or something like that, before they became the Golden State Warriors, something like that. I don't think it was the 76ers, but so basically, Kobe Bryant once again scored 81 points in that game against them, and it's a record that still stands to this day. I mean, it could possibly get broken, but I don't know by who. Possibly LeBron James or maybe Stephen Curry if he, wasn't injured, and probably, Dirk Nowitzki may have had a chance before, but he never did do that. And Jason Kidd might have had a chance to do it too. But like I said, that's a lot of points, to do as well. I mean, nobody's ever scored that high number of points in a game. I think Michael Jordan scored 60 a couple of times in the 90s, but Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant did play against each other a few times. And of course, a lot of NBA players, retired ones and current players, are saying a lot of words about him, which is very, awesome of them to say. Of course, Shaquille O'Neal said some great words about him, and Dwayne Wade did, who was never a teammate of Kobe Bryant. He always played for the Miami Heat, and I think he also played for the Bulls one time, Dwayne Wade, but I'm really not sure. And very, very upsetting to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know if they have a game to play tonight because they were supposed to play, I think, against a team. I think the Clippers are a couple days ago or so, and the game wound up getting canceled because of what happened to Kobe, which is very, very understandable. And I was pretty sure that they were not going to play. So now I'm pretty sure that there's going to be at least a moment of silence and definitely a lot of things that are going to be going on. And I'm sure they're going to have his number like on the floor, like probably number 8 and number 24. And I hope the game will be broadcasted by ESPN or so. And I'm sure, and a lot of teams are taking a 24-second clock violation, which is a thing that happens in basketball, but it's a way to honor Kobe Bryant because the 24-second violation just because of the number 24. And also I think they're doing the 8-second thing as well, like whatever the thing is that they're also doing. But that is nothing but amount of respect that a lot of the teams are doing. Like a lot of teams, besides, well, the Lakers haven't really played a game yet, but what I mean is all these players like the Brooklyn Nets, I think, have done something. The Detroit Pistons and many, many other teams are doing all these tributes to him, which is amazing. So, yeah, so like I said, I always enjoyed watching him playing basketball all the time. I watch a lot of highlights or some games on television, or highlights on YouTube. Like I would watch some of them on there. So, of course, like a lot of teammates that he had, like I mentioned, Lamar Odom, and also I forgot to say, he also won 2 NBA rings without Shaquille O'Neal. They won the 2009 NBA Finals against the Orlando Magic, and they won the 2010 NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics, which was amazing because the Lakers and Celtics always have a huge rivalry. And I think it wound up going to a game 7 or something like that, and the Lakers wound up winning at home. The roster consisted of Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, I think Ron Artest, or Meta World Peace, as they call him now, was on the squad. I don't know about Derek Fisher and Jordan Farmar. I think they were there, but I don't know. And of course, I was always looking forward to it. I wanted to see them win because, I always thought they were, a great team, to win in the NBA Finals. I mean, even though the Celtics won it in 2008 and a couple others, but I mean, just watching him play, like I said, once again, was just outstanding. And of course, his final game against the Utah Jazz, which happened in 2016, I think it was, and Kobe Bryant wound up scoring 60 points. I think it was 60 or 61, but it doesn't really matter. But I mean, but that is the highest amount of points that somebody has scored in their final game. I think the record may have been 40 or maybe less than that, but just seeing him score 60 points was just outstanding once again because of the fact the Lakers were not in playoff contention at that time. They had some down years, like after 2012 or so, or after 2013 or something like that, they just could not string everything together. They had a lot of injuries, and of course, Kobe Bryant did as well. He had an Achilles injury, which was very, very rough for him because of the fact that he was the star player, and they had to do it mostly without him. They did win some games, but mostly when they had Kobe Bryant with them, they did win games, but they did lose games when Kobe Bryant was there. But that's not the point. I mean, the thing is just so much that he's done for basketball, like all the points that he's scored in a game. He has scored at least over 40 points against every single team. Like he has scored like more than 42 or 41 against like every team. Like the Nets, I think his career high is like 50 or something. The Toronto Raptors, of course, is 81. The Mavericks, I think, is over 40. The Suns is over 40. The Celtics is over 40. I mean, most of them are over 40, and some are over 50. I mean, once again, there are people that did not really care for Kobe Bryant, but that's disrespectful for one. I mean, because Kobe Bryant was one of the best to watch. I just think people are jealous because of the fact that he was a very good player. And that's a shame right there. People just never show any respect. And that's on them. But I never did do that. I always had respect for him because, for one, he was not like a dirty player or anything like that. He would never yell at fans and yell like an offensive word to them or anything. He would never fight fans in the crowd like a few NBA players have done. Um, like if somebody got into a fight, he'd always break it up. He would. I mean, and he knew like how to play the game, and he always entertained everybody all the time. I mean, and he always did, and his merchandise still is going for a lot. But now Nike has been taking his stuff off the shelves because a lot of people have been buying his stuff and selling it for more money, which again is wrong. I mean, I had a couple of jerseys of Kobe Bryant, but unfortunately I don't have them anymore because of the fact I had to move and I wasn't able to take some of this stuff with me. So one day I may get one back. So, but it's just very upsetting. It's very upsetting to the Los Angeles Lakers and Kobe Bryant's family and friends and many others. It's just very upsetting, losing one of the greatest players in NBA history. Like Shaquille O'Neal has been going through a rough time. Dwayne Wade said some good words about him. Derek Fisher did. And all these tributes, as I mentioned, that people are doing to him, or doing to Kobe Bryant is just outstanding and amazing. And I mean, it's just, sad that they keep talking about the accident. Everybody keeps mentioning about it, and like they keep getting more details and all that stuff. But at first, people were saying that all of his daughters were on board on the plane or the helicopter, and his wife was not. Like, first they said that all of his daughters were. Then they got information that one of his daughters was, unfortunately, and that was his daughter, Gianna, who also was in training or was going to be a basketball player just like her dad, which is, again, twice upsetting because we got to see her play a little bit, but we just wish we could have got to see her play more. No. But when he played his last game, I remember watching, as I said, I saw it on ESPN. Then he said a speech, and which is very nice, of course, and he ended it by saying, Mambo out. Or Mamba out. I mean, sorry, I get confused about the word that he says. I believe it's Mamba. Mamba out, as he says. And that's a hashtag a lot of people put up and stuff. And I said some words about him on my Facebook, of course, and I put it on Instagram and Twitter as well. But I'm really more used to Facebook and Instagram mostly, but I do use Twitter like every now and then. Yeah. Hello, Dom. So, it's just very upsetting, Michael Jordan, I think, said some words about him, but I didn't really hear his speech. Doc Rivers, the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, said some words about him, which is very emotional. I mean, just really hard to watch. And all these pictures and videos that everybody's putting up of him, I mean, everybody is still, very upset about it. I mean, it's just, it's just very hard. I mean, like every time I always play a basketball game, and same thing with NBA Jam, the later ones for the PlayStation 3 and all that. I'm okay. How you doing today? I'd always choose the Lakers. Like I'd shoot 3 points of Kobe Bryant or 2 points or slam dunks, anything like that. Same with the later games like NBA 2K11, NBA 2K12, 2K13, and later on. But I stopped playing them, I think, after 2K14. I just didn't really focus on playing basketball anymore. I just focused on baseball, like playing the MLB games. But, yeah, so, yeah, I wanted to do this video for everybody because of the fact I know I didn't really do it like before. I could have done this video around the 28th or 9th or so and stuff, but again, I was with my girlfriend at her house, as I said before, and I wasn't able to do it with my phone. I didn't do it when I got home on Monday. I should have, but I just didn't get the chance to. But I'm gonna miss Kobe very well, very much. I mean, it was one of my favorites to watch in the game. I just can't I just can't say enough about him. I always watch him on television and always would see his highlights on YouTube or ESPN, anything like that, or watch him in the NBA Finals. And I just don't know what to say sometimes. It just very upsetting about this. I mean, it really is. I just can't believe it still. I mean, it just came out of nowhere, and I was really hoping at first that it was all going to be fake, not going to be true about him. But, I mean, it's just, very upsetting once again. But my thoughts and prayers are definitely with him and his family and his friends and the Los Angeles Lakers and the rest of his teammates and everybody else that, to everyone else as well too, and thoughts and prayers to the rest of the people that were involved in the helicopter crash too, including a baseball coach. I forgot his name now, and the rest of the people that were on board too, and the pilot of the helicopter and many others too, and just plenty of thoughts and prayers for all of them. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here for this. So, but hope everybody enjoyed watching this video. Anyway, I mean, I know not really like a gameplay or anything. I do like that. I mean, I don't like doing sad videos on here a lot of times. I mean, yeah, it's something I needed to say, because of the fact that I was always a big fan of Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers, and yeah, a lot of people are very still speechless. I mean, all right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here for this. So, thank you everybody for watching. Once again, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and the rest of the passengers and the pilot on board and the rest, and to the families of the victims. Thoughts and prayers to every one of them. So, all right. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Everybody enjoy your day today, and thank you, Dom, by the way. And all right. So, thank you again for watching, everybody. You all take care. Enjoy your day, and thank you again for watching. Thank you.